and that will be Numbers chapter 15. Numbers chapter 15. That will be Numbers chapter 15. Right, that's number 15. We're going to start at verse 1, of course. Remember what's happening last week? Oh, they went and they were trying to go against that land and they got scared. Remember, a lot of the spies or the ones that they went to, check out the land. A lot of them were saying how the giants were big and their walls and defenses are strong, and they got discouraged and they ultimately discouraged some of the people as well. But we know that there was a good report, and we understand why it was a good report because the report was really it was showing where your faith was at because this whole thing is always about faith, right? It's always about faith. So it was showing ones that one or two that had the good report. It wasn't that they didn't see the same thing. Is that their faith, right, was where it would need to be, that it didn't matter what they seen. Okay, and that's where we have to get to. We think situations are big because they're big to us in our capacity of what we can deal with or handle. But we're talking and witnessing for the Most High God. There is no limit. There is no big situation. Okay. Everything is small when it comes to the Most High God. All right. So we need to make sure we understand that. Okay. Because if we have doubt within us, we're going to teach that. Okay. And that can fall on our hands. Okay, so it doesn't even matter. Any witness we're doing, the Most High, everything. He has control of everything. Anything and everything he has control of. All right, so that witness, it didn't matter what they seen. We have the great and living God behind us. And if God before you, nobody can be against you or nobody can stand against you. Okay. Okay, but we're maneuvering over to number 15. It don't kind of follow up, but what we went last week, but nonetheless, the next chapter. Right. So Numbers chapter 15, and we're going to start at verse 1.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land of your habitations, which I give unto you, and making an offering by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering or a sacrifice of performing a vow, or any free will offering, or in your solemn feast, to make a sweet savor unto Yahweh of the herd or of the flock.
You can read the next one too.
Then shall he that offereth his offering unto Yahweh bring a meat offering of a tenth deal of flour mingled with the fourth part of an hin of oil.
All right. So once again, we're starting off, and I always want to emphasize who is doing the commanding, who is doing the speaking. All right. This is what Yahweh speak unto Moses. All right. Once again, this is not Moses' idea. He's bringing these things up. Most High speaking through Moses or to Moses. Okay. And he's telling what? Moses, the leader, you speak to the people. Right. That was the chain of command. So when ye be coming to the land of your habitation, which I give unto you. So a lot of these instructions, all right. And I did hear arguments where some preachers and stuff say, oh, this is just for the land, right? Oh, these laws because it's saying it's for the land. Love it. It might sound good. A lot of times I tell y'all about people will try to stop one thing or they don't want to do one thing, but their excuse for why they're not doing that one thing can do more damage than good. Okay. He was not giving us these laws and everything just so we do it in the land. Right. And if we leave the land, but now I tell them now, okay, you're not in the land now. So now can we have other gods? Can we have idols now? Can we kill? No. This wasn't just for the land, but what happened? They're going to the land. Because the promise was you're going to go to the land. It's the whole journey going there. So he's saying, when you get in it, this is what you're going to do. Because this is where they're supposed to be what? Setting up shop. Right? This is going to be their land. That's for them. They own this. So when you get in there, this is what you're going to do. I don't want y'all going there and we all trying to figure out there. No, I'm giving you this how would you do this mission or going through this, this wilderness and stuff. Y'all learn it there. So when you get there, all right, y'all good, y'all know what y'all supposed to do. Same thing now, beloved. We are going through a certain wilderness now with this body. This is the proven ground now that we're in. Okay. And then we get that glorified body and everything. That's when we get in the kingdom. There ain't no trying to figure it out there. Right? Person out there, no, you need to get this stuff straight now. Okay. But that's a side note. But the verse 3, and will make an offering. So the land I give you, all right, when you go there, you will make an offering by fire unto Yahweh. This meaning what? You're going to give some offerings. So you got burnt offerings. Okay, breaking down some of them. Burnt offerings. A sacrifice where you're performing a vow. All right, because there's sometimes you'll make a vow. So there's certain laws of how you will deal with that. A free will offering. This free will. Just want to give an offering. Okay. And also, or in your solemn feast. So in the feast days, we will give offerings as well. All right, to make a sweet savior. All right, so that mean is acceptable. We want to have an acceptable sacrifice to the Lord, because you cannot just offer him anything. And this is what we're trying to get to, beloved. We supposed to know, the people of God, we can't offer God anything. This is why we are studying and looking at these things to see what is an acceptable offering. Yes, anybody can offer something, but is it going to be acceptable? Is it going to be a sweet smelling savior? All right. That's the thing. There's a lot of people giving up offerings all these days, right? They're doing their own thing. But the obedience to what he said acceptable, that's what's going to be acceptable for him. Okay. So we look at these, just seeing some different ones, because some people think every sacrifice has to do with, or every offering has to do because you did something wrong. No. Okay. A lot of them people did do something wrong. All right. But not every single thing is because you did something wrong. All right. There's some things you just want to give God, the glory and the praise, because you give him an offering for that. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything from 1 through 4? Let's keep going, brother.
And the fourth part of the hin of wine for a drink offering shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice for one man. Or for a ram, thou shalt prepare for a meat offering 2/10 deals of flour mingled with the third part of a hin of oil. And for a drink offering, thou shalt offer the third part of a hin of wine for a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
So breaking out once again, some details we kind of already went over even when we was going through the laws, right? But we look at things like what? Wine, drink offering, all right? So we did have drink offerings, okay? Yes, it was wine. I know people preach against, no alcohol, stuff like that. It was wine though. All right. And yes, I believe they know the difference between juice and wine and stuff like that. All right. So they were giving wine, not for the purpose of them always just getting drunk or anything like that. But this was our offering, because it also was what? It's supposed to be symbolizing something. All right. What is something that wine can symbolize, beloved? What can it symbolize? Anybody know? Maybe we don't know.
The blood.
That's probably the most common thing, right? The blood. Okay. And you can see that because, and this would say we know with Yahweh Shai, right? We sat there, took out the bread, represent his body, and had the what? The wine represent his blood. Okay. And think about how wine comes about. How do we get the wine? What fruit you use to get the wine, beloved?
Grapes.
Grapes, right? So think about the grapes. Is when you get the wine, what part of the grape is that? Is that the stuff on the outside or inside?
Inside.
Inside, right? The outside will be what, like, the skin they have wrapped around it. So you think about it, like the life of the grapes will be what? On the inside. So you're getting the life out of the grapes, and that's what you. So it's just, it's kind of, I always say poetic and stuff like that, but when you look at the beauty behind it, that's why it's very important as well. All right. We're supposed to be getting never mind, I ain't going that far into it. All right, but yes. And this also could be, like I said, the fruit of the vine. You hear things like that. These kind of agricultural references we see a lot through the scriptures. So once again, reiterating that point. Also, wine can be it can be like a cleanser as well. So when I was at Father's Church, when we did they call Lord's Supper, it was like the wine, we had 1 cup. So it was 1 cup, and everybody drinking that 1 cup. However, wine's supposed to, like, kind of purify any kind of things and stuff like that. So it's another benefit of like alcohol compared to like juice and stuff. All right. All right. So the hin of wine for a drink offering shall thou prepare, listen, with the burnt offering or sacrifice for one lamb. So we see that kind of connection as well, right? Drinking this with this, all right, with the sacrifice. Okay. So the lamb, then you have the drink as well. Okay. All right. We ain't going through every offering thing. All right, brother Kyle. We'll keep going. Are you at 8 now?
Yep.
All right, moving right along, moving right along.
And without prepares a bullock for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice and performing a vow, or peace offerings unto Yahweh, then shall he bring with a bullock a meat offering of 3/10 deals of flour mingled with it half an hin of oil. And thou shalt bring for a drink offering half an hin of wine, for an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
So once again, just it's stuff we kind of dealt with. Definitely go details when you start in Leviticus. In the beginning part, it goes through even the different kind of offerings or sacrifices, right? Looking at this is giving you just some things we already have: bullocks for burnt offering, or for what? A sacrifice and performing a vow. So when we did certain things, even performing something, get a sacrifice, right? You'll get this. Okay. If you broke sometimes a vow, you have to do some kind of offering and sacrifice. All right. So we have for a vow, we have it for a peace offering. All right. So there's always a reason that we will get. There'll be no thing of why you didn't, offer something to the Most High. All right. But we're going to get into some details with that soon. But let's keep going. I have nothing.
Thus shall it be done for one bullock, or for one ram, or for a lamb or a kid, according to the number that ye shall prepare. So shall ye do to every one according to their number. All that are born of the country shall do these things after this manner, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh.
All right. So here we go. We're going to specify some things. I know some people not going to like it. All right. So let's look at it. So everybody, right? I'm going to show you both sides to show the clarity of it. So he's saying all that are born of the country shall do these things after this manner. All right. An offering made by fire of a sweet savior unto Yahweh. All right. So yes, everybody born in the country, right? Yes, but let's read verse 14.
And if a stranger sojourn with you, whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire or a sweet savor unto Yahweh, as ye do, so he shall do.
So what is that saying? Strangers do the same thing we were doing. Okay. Now they do listen. When I'm talking about stranger, it ain't just somebody with you and everything they're doing it. If somebody's saying we want to be like you, we want to be as one people like you, like they're going and enjoying themselves with us, that person is going to have to do the laws and stuff just like us. Okay. Now there are certain things in our law where it has certain discrepancies when it comes to certain things. All right. But this is dealing with citizenship. All right. I want to understand the difference between citizenship, nation, and then the difference of blood. Okay. There's a Philistine or somebody can come and join themselves with us. I'm just using a random nation, right? And they can be one with us, take our customs, all those kind of things, right? Now, if they leave from us, no, they're not Israel when they left from it. They go their nationhood. But even Israel, if we born in it, if we get cut off and left, you're still Israel by blood, but not by nationhood. Okay. So, beloved, I want to understand this not small, big thing. What do you think is more important? Be part of the nationhood and the citizenship or the blood? Okay, so what is more important? The blood or the citizenship? The blood? All right. Anybody else? And I'm glad we want to get this out. So we talk about the blood of being Israel. Very important. We want to take that away. All right. But being the blood and being disobedient, would that get us in the kingdom, beloved? Will the blood save us?
No.
No. But being part of the nation, not being cut off, right? You're being part of the congregation. That's what saves you. That's where you got to be in. Okay. So I don't want to, because what people try to do, almost like you're minuscule. I'm not minuscule. I'm not pushing the blood down and making it small. Also, I'm not going to make it bigger than what it has to be. All right. Because some people get so caught up as in, I got the same blood as maybe Moses and all them, right? Them forefathers, right? But they're not doing the things of God. That is not going to save you. That's going to be irrelevant. This is going to make it worse of a punishment, per se. You really think about it. Okay. So when we're looking at this, it's should be proud to be Israel. It's a proud thing to be. But just don't stop there. That's not where the Most High just said stop there. No. All right. This is why Paul, Brother Kai, where's is that in Romans or Israel?
Not Israel. I'll find it for you.
Okay. And like I said, listen, I'm not knocking it. I believe I'm Israel. I'm proud to be Israel. All right. But some people got that and not doing the things of God. And guess what? The other people, they say, oh, that's not Israel. That's good. You can prove them wrong. But if they held on and enjoyed themselves with Israel, they got a spot. And this is what a lot of brothers not getting. The blood does not save you. It's the what? Obedience that saves you. Okay? So this is very, very important. I want to make sure to make it clear because I do, talk about Israel. This is it is for Israel. Absolutely. That's who the kingdom, it was made for us. No doubt about it. Okay. But this was all contingent upon what? Us being obedient. All right. Us being obedient. It's all about obedience, beloved. Obedience and faith. All right.
Romans 9:6.
There we go. All right, let's go to it real quick. And where I'm saying this is, remember, Israel was they were still the leaders of it. The other nation couldn't go to be the leader and ruling. No, Israel ruling. It's that nation. Okay. So I'll make sure I make sure I deliver correctly. All right. That'll make us exempt and give us a sin-free card to do whatever. So this Romans chapter 9. All right, Romans chapter 9. You want to make sure we get it into the flesh. You said verse 6. Start at verse 4. So everybody can understand Israel was to us.
For Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises.
Okay, so we didn't read the verse 3, but this says, my kinsman according to the flesh. So Paul is letting you know, I'm an Israelite according to the flesh. All right, and Israel according to the flesh, All right. They were given what? Things that pertaineth to the adoption. So everybody put the adoption as, oh, this is for everybody else. Right? All the other nations all the other nations for adoption. But Brother Kyle, what that say? Who are Israelites to
Israelites
whom what?
retaineth the adoption.
So the adoption that everybody talks about pertains to who? Israel. Don't discard them because some of them fell off. As we're going to read how some of them fell off. They fell off. All right. But he did have a plan, a contingency plan, because he knew we were going to what? Fall off. All right. So he had adoption for us. He ain't going to adopt everybody else, right? And then forget about his own. Okay. No. All right. So the adoption belongs to Israel. Glory belongs to Israel. The covenants belong to Israel. The giving of the law belong to Israel. The service of God, the promises, all those things were what? Given to us. All right. The other nations didn't have all these things. They knew little things, but they didn't have the fullness of this. Okay. That was to Israel. Verse 5.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen.
And then the promises, whose are the what? Fathers. These things belong to our forefathers, and and of whom concerning the what? Flesh. Christ came. So Christ did come for what? Israel of the flesh. All right. That's why he dealt with it when he was coming here. He wasn't going all out in the world doing all that stuff. That was the disciples and stuff going out doing more things like that. All right. They went further when it comes to spreading it. All right. Christ was, when you look at where he was traveling and stuff, he was dealing with what? Places where it was heavily populated with what? Israel. Okay. So people can take it how they want it. My job is to give you the truth. You can do what you want with it from there. Okay. So when you see this, once again, he came for the Israelites. All these things, the services was to the Israelites. And this is why Paul understood this, even though he's preaching. Remember, he said he's giving the message to the Gentiles. So he still understands this and still giving that message. Don't y'all get it twisted. This thing was for Israel. I want you to understand that. Nah, there's some importance to this. Okay. Now let's go to, you said verse 6 is the point, right? Yeah, give me verse 6. Verse 6.
Not as though the word of God have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
All right. So they ain't like the word of God taking none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. All right. What does that mean? They are not all Israel, which are of Israel, huh? All right. There are going to be some people claiming this thing, but they're not about it. All right. There's going to be some blood. They're going to have Israel by blood, but not in the congregation or nationhood. Okay. So this is going to, that's why I say this is going to be a big problem for some people. And my brothers that don't, if they don't grab hold to the laws and everything, they're going to not be what? They're going to be Israel, but they're not going to be Israel. Okay. Because remember, dealing with the blood, you're the bloodline regardless, right? Right? When an Israelite being obedient, he's Israel. Okay. When he's not listening, he's still what? By blood. He's an Israelite. Right? So he's telling you, yes, you can have two, but it can be two different ones. You got one that's being obedient, one that's not. All right. So when you think about Israel, we were supposed to be what? The people, the children of God. We're supposed to be the example. We're supposed to be the light on the hill. But all of Israel is not that. All of them do not act like God's people. All of them do not act like the children of God. So that's why all Israel is what? Not Israel. Okay. So this is where I say it's not, don't get caught up on the bloodline part without the obedience. The obedience is greater. All right. It's better to be, and please understand what I'm saying. It's better to be obedient from another nation than being Israel and not obedient. Okay. Just want y'all to understand it. So we get all caught up in stuff. You need to focus on being obedient to his word. Because many's going to say what? Lord, Lord, I've done this shit, right? And he said, I don't know you. What do you mean you don't know me? I'm Israel. I don't know you. Why is he saying I don't know you? Because you You might be of Israel, but you're not Israel. Because he said what? Ye workers, listen, ye workers of iniquity. That's why I don't know you, because you work iniquity. I don't care about where your blood came from. No. Okay? So I want to make sure we are pressing to do the things of God. All right? And not just holding on to the, like I said, it's a very beautiful thing to know who you are. Beautiful thing. Something we need to know. However, I don't want us to stop there. Because just knowing you, that's not everything, beloved. Okay? We need to know who we are so we know what we're supposed to do. That's why I want to show you're Israel. Now, what do Israel supposed to do? What is an Israelite supposed to do? Right? Sometimes you don't know. If you know the job title, you know what you got to strive for. Okay? So when we're showing you this is your nation. So what did my people do? What was my people, right? Laws. What was my people commandments? So this will hopefully get you out of that mentality that you have been adapted to with this, America and all these other places around the world, right? These captivities. We want you to break that mold, understand what your people is supposed to be doing. All right. So this is why it's important for that aspect. So if that brought you in, hold on to that. Now do what you're supposed to be doing as that. Okay. It was just 6, right? Mapping read verse 7. Let's keep going a little bit.
Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
So he's going to bring out, this is a beautiful chapter, right? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. Just because you're the seed of Abraham don't make you a child. He's getting deeper in this if you don't understand what he's saying. Because there's children and then there's children according to promise. Okay? So he said just because you're a child of Abraham, because there were different children of Abraham, right? It says, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Because Abraham had what? It's Ishmael and Isaac. Now you have to understand the past to kind of understand what he's talking about, because he's talking about things that pertain to Israel. So he said, yes, Abraham, but Abraham had 2 sons. But the son of promise, or where the seed, everything will come, was what? Through Isaac. Okay? But read verse 8, and we'll get out of it, because this is not what today's topic is about.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Yeah. So this is he's going into more of the prophecy and stuff dealing with the seed, okay? Who's going to. So once again, very important. Knowing who you are, very important. I don't want to take that away from us, all right? Please understand, not take that away from us. I want us to make sure that's not all we are, right? As in, oh, I'm just from this bloodline. No, I'm a child of God. I can say naturally, but also what? The spiritual sense of what a child of God is. Okay. All right, let's go back to number 15. Okay. So just showing it once again, because some people are like, oh, it's just been all Israel. No, it hasn't, right? If you left out of Egypt, it was a mixed multitude. There was other nations mixed with us. Okay. However, Israel still was ruling. It was our nation. Okay. Just like when we was in Egypt, right? You can be part of the citizenship of Egypt, but we know Egypt is what? Ruling it. The same thing with Israel. Israelites they're going to be ruling it. Okay. People will have to what? Join us. All right. They can join us and get that citizenship being part of us. All right. And that's where they will really claim Israel. All right. They wouldn't be by blood, but they can claim it by the citizenship. I join to them. Okay. And you will see that kind of verbiage. I mean, it's really in any history, but if you go through here. Okay. So, Brother Kai, what was the verse we read to get to that?
You talking about Numbers?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're off.
Numbers 15.
You read 15?
Yes.
Okay. So one ordinance, all right. Oh, yeah, because we read they're born in a country, they got to do this, and it says, and if a stranger sojourn with you, all right, so they be joined to you, whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering. So they will have to do the same thing. All right. So it ain't, oh, Israel had to offer up the lamb and the bullock, but a heathen, he didn't care. They can offer up a pig because they're heathens. No. That's ridiculous. But that's how some people are trying to teach these kind of things. No, it's one law for all. Read that 15 for us again, then, Brother Kai.
One law and one manner shall be for
I'm sorry,
you.
15. 15.
Also, what ordinance shall be for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As ye are, so shall the stranger be before Yahweh.
All right. So listen what he's saying. One ordinance, one ruling, one law is going to be what? Shall be both for you of the congregation, right? Those that Israel, right? We in that, we got our congregation. Okay. So that was Israel. And also, so we got the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you. So come with you. All right. There should be one ordinance for both. An ordinance forever throughout your generation, as ye are, listen, as ye are, so shall the strangers be before Lord, right? So they're going to be looked at the same way, in the sense of they got to do the same thing we're doing. Can't have it, oh, well, we have to, we can't steal, we can't commit adultery, we can't do these things, but the heathen that's among us, they can do it. That makes sense, beloved? Oh, right? They will have to do the same thing. They have to submit to it. So part of them joining us, not just saying, oh, no, join them saying, we're going to take on your God. It's going to be our God. Your rules are going to be our customs. We're going to submit to the Israelite teaching. Well, yeah, their laws and their God, all that kind of stuff. All right. That's how they're enjoying themselves. Okay. And yes, they can leave anytime they leave. You lose that citizenship. You do something wrong, you're going to see you can get cut off. And that goes for both parties. Okay. Read verse 16.
One law and one manner shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourneth with you.
So once again, one law and one manner, all right, for the stranger, for you, and the stranger that sojourneth with you. Okay? This is not, when you look at the context, beloved, it's not somebody that left. Oh, it's talking about an Israelite that left, and now they're trying to come. They're all together right now. They ain't leaving, they getting killed. They getting killed. They ain't leaving, they come back right now. This is all the right there. Okay? So one law for both. Okay, let's keep going.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land whither I bring you, then it shall be that when ye eat of the bread of the land, ye shall offer up and heave offering unto Yahweh.
All right. Beloved, who was the land for? Who was the land for? Read that verse again. That 18.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land whither I bring you.
All right. So once again, there's people joining, but I want you to understand it was for Israel. It is for Israel. Remember, that's part of when with the Roman 9, that's part of the promises and all those kind of things. I want y'all to, because I want you to understand it. That is for Israel. Why I'm saying that? If there was nobody from another nation there with us, it wouldn't matter. Still rolling right in there. If there was no Israelite there, oh no, they couldn't just roll up in. That land wasn't designed for them. Only reason they're getting access to go in there is because they're what? Joining with us. They're not with that ain't their land. All right. And even then, when they don't just have the land. All right. They can't just usurp it. And now, because you can have all kind of stuff happen. You start killing out the Israelites, and now you think you get it. No, that land was for his people, for Israel. Okay. So once again, that was, and that don't change anything from it, right? They always show that discrepancy, but the law is given that discrepancy. But I want you to understand the law is given that discrepancy. Okay, they gotta abide by it, but it's also any of the law. They have certain things that say, okay, this is what these kind of people do. This is what you can do. All right, in this capacity. Okay, and they have to accept that if they want to be joined to Israel. Okay. Let's keep going, Brother Kai.
Ye shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for a heave offering, as ye do the heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall ye heave it. Of the first of your dough ye shall give unto Yahweh a heave offering in your generations.
All right. This is important. So when you go into the land, all right, say the land that I brought you to, all right, very important. He brought us to this. He got us out of Egypt to bring us to this land that he promised to our forefathers, okay? Now, when you look at this, it says, when you eat the bread of the land, all right, so when you get there, we know we got to eat. Ye shall offer up an heave offering unto Yahweh, all right? So we're going to offer up this offering, bread offering. Listen what he's saying. Ye shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for the heave offering. Why does he have us offering up the first? Okay, that is getting back to what? That principle of giving the best, like tithing, right? It's the principle. Don't get caught up on the percentage and the amount. It's about the principle, giving God the first, giving God the best. Okay, so when we go in that land, yes, he blessed with all this stuff. We need to understand. All right, the Lord brought us here. When you giving him the first thing, it's like I'm putting in my mind. We all understand. The nation, we supposed to understand that what God gave us this. This is why we give him the first. All right. So that's what it was about, giving him the first of that offering. Right. Before we think about us, we give him the first. Okay. But there's something connected with it. Let's go to Nehemiah 44. And we see this sometimes with even some of the we see the feasts, even definitely with first fruit, right? You'll bring it in there, you talk about a blessing, but we're not diving all over the place today. All right. What did I say? Nehemiah, I'm sorry. Nehemiah. Hold on. Sure that's the right one. 44, so it can't be yes. Not Nehemiah, Ezekiel. I'll say Nehemiah like this, don't even go up to that. All right, I'm sorry, Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 44, right? Ezekiel chapter 44. And we're going to jump down all the way down the chapter. All right, let's go. Let's go down to verse 30. Let's go down to verse 30 and see something here.
And the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblation shall be the priest. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house.
You know, see that? Because sometimes we go to certain spots and don't go and give, full details. So sometimes they go to other places. So to give the first of the dough, but it says for what? What's that last part? That he may cause the blessing to rest. Where? In thine house. And this is why sometimes you feel like you gotta we talk about offering and give it to the Lord. A lot of people look at it like you always look at what we're giving, what we gotta give, we gotta give something. No, you're doing an exchange. You're doing that, but he's saying what? I'm doing it. This is still for you. Because what? I'm going to bless thine house, right? Beloved, we all want to bless our house, right? So when you're giving the best, because this is what we're trying to get us to understand, when we give the best to him, he gives us the what? The best in return. All right. He gives us the best in return. So when you understand that, right, you want to get that principle of giving him the best. All right. Giving him the best, and he shall give you the best. Right. So the first, right, first fruits, the tithing, whatever you want to verbalize it, that's giving him the best so that what? He can put a blessing upon that house. So this is where some people just do it off of faith. They read it, okay, I'm just going to do it. But just give the understanding of it, that's what it's about. Okay? This is where he says, I'll give it to you where you can't, like you don't have room to receive or burst your barns, all right? Stuff like that. That's coming from you giving the best to the Most High, right? And he's blessing you in return. Okay, matter of fact, let me see the that might be Proverbs 3. The world done tainted up so much. I don't even like talking about anything with giving stuff, to be honest. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but it's in there. All right. But just because you give ain't gonna that don't excuse or give you a get out of sin free or jail free card or anything like that. This is part of the obligation that we give our best to the Most High, and it's not just monetary, right? We want to give him the best of everything, our time, everything. All right. So Proverbs 3, Brother Kai. All right, and you can start at verse 9. Proverbs 3, verse 9.
Honor Yahweh with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase.
So honor him. How can you honor him? Through your substance. All right. So I know some churches, they use this in a bad way all the time. I always want to use this part, all right? But yes, you can honor him with your substance. You can honor him in singing. You can honor him in prayer. You can honor him in a lot of things. Substance is one of them, all right? And the first fruits of all, right, thine increase. So whatever you're getting in, that profit, you can honor him with what? All those things, all right? So that was a system that gives us an understanding that what? God has given us everything we get. And that's the big thing, beloved. If you understand that God is really has control of everything, then everything you receive, you should know that he gave it to you. So think about how that is. And I love we did it for the kids class, but the full actually broke it down. Like if God gave you, and this is what the problem is, people don't believe that God gave them stuff. That's the other issue. But if God brought you, right, this food, let's say he brought you this bag of food. I don't even use McDonald's. Just say he brought you a bag of food, right? You got burgers, fries, whatever, right? If you believe he brought you the whole thing, isn't it a light thing if he asked for fries? Oh, yeah, you gave me the whole bag. Yeah, I'll give you some fries. We will never question somebody. Somebody buy you a meal. Let me get a little bit of that, right? But a lot of times we reject or it's hard because sometimes we don't believe that he actually bought us that. We think we did it, right? Told you. But Michael might thought he got the job because, I spoke nice, I wore the right outfit, blah, blah. I think I got the job, so I feel like I did it. So I feel like I don't need to. But if I truly, child of God, am truly in it, I know that he provided me with this. He gave me favor to get this. Okay? You're not ask for everything, ask for something. So I can what? Tell you, why do God have us do repetitive things? So you don't forget. So every time when I'm giving to Lord, I'm understanding every time, Lord, you gave me this. That's what it was for. Remember, Most High don't need substance and food. Like it ain't like he eats stuff, right? But it was for us that we will learn. Okay, all this stuff is about learning and lessons that we learn that everything we receive, it's of the Most High God. All right, and we just give him an appreciation offering, basically back. That's it. Okay, let's go back to Numbers. Right. Sure, all those reading people they always can break down these kind of verses. All right. All right, let's keep going, Brother Kai.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
And if ye have erred and not observed all these commandments which Yahweh hath spoken unto Moses, even all that Yahweh hath commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day that Yahweh commanded Moses, and henceforth among your generations, then it shall be, if ye ought be committed by ignorance, without the knowledge of the congregation, then all the congregation shall offer one young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor unto Yahweh, with his meat offering and his drink offering, according to the manner, and one kid of the goats for a sin offering.
So he's saying if somebody erred, if somebody go and do something wrong according to these commandments, there's something we got to do, beloved. Right? This is why this whole system of the mainly the system of the sacrifice stuff like that was for sin. I'm telling you, it is for sin. A lot of it was for sin. Absolutely. All right. All sin, it could be sin that's willful. Like I knew it was wrong and I did it. And then there's things where what? I did it in ignorance. All right. But just because you do it in ignorance don't mean you're clear. All right. Even the law of this land tells you what? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay. However, the Most High is fair God, and he put, things in there. All right. So he's saying if it does, then it shall be if ought be committed by ignorance without the knowledge of the congregation. All right. So if something was done without the knowledge, you don't understand it, you will still have to what? Make an offering because you still messed up. All right. So once again, you have to rectify that. Verse 25.
And
Let's do ignorance.
the priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it is ignorance. And they shall bring their offering, a sacrifice made by fire unto Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh for their ignorance.
All right. And it was done through ignorance. And all you got to do, bring this thing to the priest. And this is very important. You had to bring that thing to the priest. All right. Don't think you're just doing stuff. He set up an order. Because a lot of people like that. This thing you see nowadays, people don't like order. They want to do whatever they want to do when they're, well, I feel like it don't matter how you felt. If you didn't do it like this, now what? Guess what, beloved? That's when that sin overrides you. Because see, you messed up. You're good. You just sinned, right? You went off. This is how you rectify to get right back in the good graces. Now, if you're going to be in your stubbornness, well, you know what? I did this. Well, now I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to offer it up myself because I mean, the priest, no, you would have been off. Okay. So once you give it to the priest, he's saying what? You make the atonement and it what? Shall be forgiven them. Y'all, I want y'all to see the word of God. It's an absolute. Because God's already telling you, if you do this, it's good. People want to make all this stuff hard. No, he said, once you do this, you're good. You're clear. I forgave you. Okay. Let's keep going. Because he said you did it in ignorance. So this one will definitely deal with ignorance. But let's keep going, verse 26.
And it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger that sojourneth among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance.
Okay. So once again, the guy's adding two parties, right? And it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel and the stranger. So he needs to show y'all that so we can see this thing, beloved. All right. There also will be cleared up from it. All right. Because guess what? If somebody joins to us, beloved, right? If something befalls us, it befalls them too. Their fate is linked up to us too. When we went to captivity, beloved, if somebody's joined among your nation, guess what? They get thrown in there too. And oh, you're Israel, but you okay? No, you want to be a part of them? Okay, you got to take the same thing. So they was getting hit with us too, just purely all Israel. Other nations will get hit when judgment hits us. Okay, but he's saying both parties going to be everybody be forgiven. All right, if you do it this way because it was done in ignorance. Okay, it was done in ignorance. Let's keep going.
If any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering.
Mm-hmm.
And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly, when he sinneth by ignorance before Yahweh to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him.
We got that in the Leviticus. Is that Leviticus 5? So sin through ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, some of these things you can see, he's just kind of specifying it for this, but we have a law that deals with that. All right, let's keep going. If we don't got nobody, let's keep going.
Ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them.
So it ain't no difference, huh? Whether somebody of Israel nation homeborn or if a stranger that joined themselves did something, you have to do the same thing. They did something in ignorance that was hid from the congregation, or a homeborn did it. Same thing. All right, it's one law. Okay, let's keep going.
But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproach of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
And now it's talking about what? Being cut off. All right. So let's look at that. Let's look at that presumptuously. I'm going to give look it up on the definition, give y'all the proper definition of this so y'all can see the difference. All right. What you got, Sistema?
I think that one is on purpose, unlike verse 25 when we do it in ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look it up. My apologies.
No, you're fine. They don't misspell it like that in there. Presumptuously. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta I think it gives it like this. Let me use the wording in it. Right? The dictionary app don't even show it. I'll just put on Google. Let me see. Show y'all that presumptuously. It's an adverb meaning with excessive boldness, arrogance, or forwardness. It suggests acting or speaking with proper respect or authority, often in a way that assumes or implies something that is not fully justified. All right. You'll see other breakdowns of it. Presumptuously implies a lack of humility and a willingness to disregard boundaries or expectations. All right. So what is it really showing? The spirit behind it. All right. It is a difference. It is a difference from doing something in ignorance and doing something willingly. Okay. So, matter of fact, let me show the other precept. There's one where David says it. Is that the Psalm 19:14 I always end with? Let me look real quick, beloved. Okay. So we're looking at that presumptuously. All right. There's somebody that's bold in it. I don't care. You see people doing presumptuous sins now. All right. They're like, I don't care. I'm just gonna do that. I can do what I want. Nobody gonna judge me. That's presumptuously. That's the stuff that gets you what? Get you cut off. Okay. It is this Psalms 19, the part we sing out. I just don't say that part. All right. So yeah, 13. I'm sorry. All right. So always saying 19 and 14, right? Let the words of my mouth, right? We do that part. But read verse 13. This is Psalms 19 and read 13. Matter of fact, read 12, 13.
Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults.
So who can understand the error? We can't even understand all the times we even went off did something. So Lord, cleanse me from the things I don't even know I did wrong. Look at the power of that, beloved. Do we pray? Do we ask God to cleanse us from the things we might be ignorant of? Or we only asking God to cleanse us from the things we understand and know is wrong? Right? Which is good. You should ask God to forgive you for the things you did wrong, but we're supposed to also say, Lord, clean me. Because sometimes I might think I'm doing everything right, but I might be doing some things in ignorance. Nonetheless, it is a blemish in the spot. Cleanse that as well. All right. So some of us might be like, we're doing good to everything we know, but there's a whole lot of stuff we don't know that we could be an offense with. So Lord, cleanse me from those secret faults. Cleanse me from those secrets and those ones that are not obvious. All right. That's not manifested that I understand and know. Okay. Because there were certain things, beloved, we was ignorant to. A lot of things we are ignorant to. Right. So we ask the Most High to cleanse us from the things that we're doing. All right. That we don't realize we're doing. Okay. Verse 13, read that slow for us, Brother Kai.
Keep thy servant also from presumptuous sins.
Mm.
Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression.
All right, so think about that, beloved. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Because you can sin, beloved. We sinned, but we didn't all fall into that presumptuous every time, right? We're all bold with it. So keep back thy servant from presumptuous sins. Why keep me back from that presumptuous sins? Let them not have dominion over me. Don't let it, I'm feeling so, you feel so bold, so I don't care that, right? You now sinning without no kind of reverence, no kind of conviction, no kind of conscience with it, right? Spirit ain't even telling me no, it's just like, Spirit, like I left, right? Keep me away from that kind of stuff because what? That's when sin has dominion over me, right? I can sin, but sin don't have to have dominion over me because I sinned. Because he gives us away. You sin, okay, you will go, I'm using it, and this time you'll go offer that sacrifice. He said, what? I'll forgive you. All right, it don't have rule over you. You got that cleared up, bang. But now somebody that's what? Somebody that's cocky and bold in it, what are they probably not going to do? They're probably not going to do the offering to clear it off of them. That's the dangerous sin. The one that you're not asking forgiveness for, the one that you just doing without no, that's where it is. So he's saying, keep me away from that because I don't want sin to have dominion over me. Now, because I don't have control at this time when it gets to that level. Now I'm only in the mercy of the Most High because I don't have the power and the strength to get it off me. And it says, if you can keep this off of me, then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from, listen, the great transgression, from the ultimate boo-boo, right? The one that what? You ain't getting out of, you can't clear up. Okay. So I shall be innocent from that. Okay. Now we can read verse 14 just because.
Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yahweh, my strength and my redeemer.
So now he's saying, now let the words of my mouth, these things I'm saying, the meditation of my heart, meditating spiritual. I don't want to fall into this state of sin and wickedness and everything. Let all these things, my thinking, listen, the things that's coming out of my mouth and the things that I'm thinking, let it be acceptable in thy sight. Love, I want you to understand, he's going in a deeper level that we don't think about. Because we think we're just worried about the things that are coming out of our mouth. And say, you know what, I didn't sin with my mouth. I'll keep my mouth shut. But your thinking, your meditation is not right. Your spirit is not on the word of God, the things of God. So he's saying, let the words be acceptable. When I speak it, when I manifest what's on my mind, let it be acceptable. But also, let my thoughts be acceptable. Because sometimes our thoughts, we can let our thoughts go real far off. He said, let that be acceptable in thy sight. Yahweh, my strength, and also what? My redeemer. Okay, redeem me from this state. Okay? All right, Brother Kai, you get us all other places. Let's go back to Numbers 15. Let's go back to Numbers 15. All right. So we have one sin through ignorance, and then we got something dealing with presumptions. Because you ain't gonna just be playing God. Like God ain't stupid. And he ain't gonna give you, remember, he's a righteous and a fair God. I'm gonna deal so harshly with the person doing it in ignorance and the person that's just going out there willy-nilly doing it. Oh, we're the same. That's how they be thinking too. See, you see how they overthrown with their mind? They're thinking, they're going boldly. I know this is wrong and I'm doing it. And they're getting on somebody that's ignorant and thinking they're in the same boat. Okay? It is a different. Now, if you stay in that state, that's the thing. But what? That person doing it in ignorance, he just needs sometimes, or she just needs knowledge. All right? Ignorance don't always reflect what's in the heart. Right? I'm ignorant of that. I don't know it. Right? But somebody that knows it and saying I'm not doing it, that's a spirit. That's a terrible spirit, beloved. Okay? Not the same. All right. Where we at, Brother Kai? I don't know what verse we left off at.
Verse 31.
All right, let's keep going. Oh, I want to get that last part. And that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Okay? So you're going to be cut off from among your people. You're going to lose what? Not your blood, but the what? Citizenship. Don't you understand? Israelite can get kicked out. They're losing their citizenship. They didn't lose their bloodline, right? They can still be the child of Abraham and all that stuff, but they lost their citizenship. Beloved, it doesn't matter about your bloodline if you get kicked out the congregation. Don't you understand that? The blood is only good when you're in the congregation, when you're doing the things of God. It is not something that justifies you, that now you can do what. No, he's saying right here, you kick them right off. Listen, the soul that doeth presumptuously, whether he be born, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, if they do these things presumptuously, the same reproach, the same reproach, Yahweh, in that soul, don't care if it's a stranger or homeborn, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Yes, because that stranger said they wanted to be with, they wanted to join to us. So they're with us. Okay. Yes, nobody's saying, yeah, you with them. You saying you about, okay. But when they act up, they do something like this, he said, nope, you now out. But Israel, you do the same thing. Guess what? He said, you're out. Okay. So getting cut off, you don't want to be cut off. All right. That is, yeah. We should just understand that. You don't want to be cut off from the congregation. All right. Because you need the congregation. So all the stuff is that. The forgiveness, all the stuff, that's with the congregation. Okay. So you definitely don't want to get to that level where you get cut off. Okay. Let's keep going, Brother Kai, unless you have something.
No.
All right, let's keep going.
Because he have despised the word of Yahweh and have broken his commandment. That soul shall be utterly cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him.
And so you got to end this part, right? Because why? Why is he getting cut off? Why do God feel like why would God kill? I'm not kill. Why would he cut them off? He says he loves us. He says he want to forgive. Why would he do something? Because he's full of compassion in some scriptures. But why would he cut somebody off? Why would he remove them from the congregation when he know that's his death out there? We know life is in the congregation because he had despised the word of Yahweh. That person didn't want to do the things of God. God didn't kick them out. They chose it. If I'm saying these are the rules, and then you have a child, you say these are the rules, and they just willingly keep breaking the rules, and they action, they just keep willingly break the rules, and he's, you got to go. They can interpret and say, oh, my dad kicked me out. No, I kicked myself out because I couldn't abide by the rules. I despise your rules. That's how God look at it. You want to despise my law? You don't want to do this? Okay, then go out there and do it. This is for the people that want to submit to the Most High God. If you don't want to do it and do the things of God, then you get cut off and you go out there. See, we got it. We got this church world where it's like, oh, no matter what you do, you can do whatever. You get 1,000 strikes and you can just, no. You want to keep doing things that's despising the word of God, then you go out there and do that. You go to them wicked churches that call themselves, the church of God to make you feel good. But no, that's not how it goes. You will be cut off if you despise the word of the Lord. Okay? Sometimes he'll let you maybe stay in there, but your mind is not there, right? To make you think that you're, doing what's right. But despise the word. He had broken his commandment. All right? You broke it. And that's what? We enter into a covenant, beloved. Tell y'all, listen to these words. We enter into the covenant when we say we're going to do what you tell us to do. We break the covenant. That's why he's saying you can remove yourself. Because all these laws is the covenant, so you can be what? His people. If you don't do these things, you're not what? His people. All right. So in that, he's going to cut you off and what? The iniquity shall be upon him. You're going to have to deal with that iniquity. Okay. And that's why you see some people suffering and going through certain things. Certain spirits hopping on them. They can't get it off. Sometimes it's because they what? Despised his word. Okay. That's why I say sometimes you got to pray, because every time sometimes you're trying to pray stuff off of people that God put on them, you ain't going to take it off if they did this. And it's his judgment. But we can plead. And if that person, the Most High, wants them to, well, never mind. That's just going to a whole different level. But once again, beloved, you have to be mindful. That's why I say you have to be mindful. You pray for who you put hands on, because some people really just despise the word of God. And you thinking because you put hands on them, you're going to force them to love God. That's not how it works. Okay. All right. So now we got off with that. The nationhood. Let's go to verse 32.
And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation.
Right? So I was right now gathering sticks, and they found him gathering sticks on the Sabbath. All right. So they brought him to the leaders, and what happened?
And they put him in ward, because it was not declared what should be done to him.
So they wasn't sure what the judgment should be for somebody gathering sticks on the Sabbath. Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death, and all the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp.
So you heard what the Lord said. The Lord told Moses, you got to put him to death. All right. And guess what? Who's going to do it? The congregation shall stone him with stones. Why is the congregation going to do it? Because that's a lesson for us. So God does everything calculated. Because if I'm not even going to name none of us here, because I don't wish none of that on anybody, right? But we had some person named we used Billy Bob. All right. Billy Bob done pick up sticks and everything. And we was there, we stoned them, okay? What is in my mind? If I stoned them for picking up sticks, now if I think I'm going to pick up sticks on Sabbath, I already got the conscience. Yo, we just killed Billy Bob for this. So it's supposed to put this thing in your conscience. No, we just killed so and so a day for this, right? Same thing with like caught in adultery. Like if I stoning people that day, it's like I know it's wrong. So it ain't gonna be all that mercy there. I know I was part of it. He made us part of the judgment, so we will know the judgment. Okay, so once again, Moses didn't have no say on that. Lord said, nope, kill him. All right, kill him. That's why I say, beloved, we can't play around with these things. We don't know how long that mercy is. Sometimes he's letting us live, but we already cut off, right? That was all right, 35. Real quick, go to Kai, you can go to Exodus 35 real quick. Okay. Well, guess it was before this because I think in sincerity they didn't know. So I don't know. I'm thinking this time frame might have been before that or after, but I thought this was before it, so they should have known what to do. It just didn't spell out how they should do it per se. But honest, 35 is Exodus 35. Read verse just read verse 2 and 3. We go right to the point.
6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
So I don't know if this was placed in there because of that incident or whatever, but this is what he's saying. You got 6 days, 7th day is your rest. Whoever do work therein shall be put to death. So I don't think that's what way to be put to death. I don't know if it's always stoning, if there's other methods, but we see from that example it was a stoning. Okay. So and don't go into details of what he was picking up the sticks for. All right. You know what I'm saying? It was work. Okay, because you had other days to go and prepare and not have to pick up those sticks because what? That's showing a failure to observe the Sabbath day. Sabbath day is just not just a day like the actual Sabbath, right? You have to go before that to prepare for the Sabbath. All right. So it's a transitioning aspect as well. You're preparing yourself for the Sabbath. So you just showed up, oh shoot, thanks the Sabbath here, blah, blah. No, you didn't prepare yourself for that. Okay. So all these things we have to understand, beloved. Okay. So fortunately, the brother lost his life for that. All right. He lost his life for that. Let's keep going. Verse 37.
Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahweh, and do them, that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring.
So understand what the fringes were for. So they was getting them, the garment, ribbon of blue. I see different aspects of what it could look like. We don't have no. I don't even have it. You have certain depictions where people claim it, but people do the best they can do with certain things. You'll see some people have it all around their shirt. Some people have the little tassel things falling down. It's an observant of this. All right, so you have the blue, and I think the color, of course, had meaning behind it. But listen, what it was for. Okay, some people are like, oh, was that for righteousness? Did that make you right? No, it was never to make you right. Just in the sense that a lot of people think it. It shall be a fringe be unto you for a fringe. Listen, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yahweh and what? And do them. So this was something you look at and it reminds you to do what? The commandments. And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye use to go whoring. So you get the focus of not doing things of your own, not thy will, right? Not my will, but what? Thy will. So when you looked at that, that's what it's for. Okay. So you have people, yes, the Holy Spirit, it does talk about it doing this as well. All right. I'm not knocking that. Okay. But a lot of times, you can't even listen to spirit and stuff like that. But when you look at it, it's like, okay. When you look at the friend, like, oh shoot, yep, it just brings this kind of back in your memory. That's what it was for. Okay. Now this is where it's so good because a lot of people will love certain souvenirs and stuff do it. Like one of the most popular ones that he didn't tell you to do, right? A lot of people wear the cross. And what do they use the cross for? So when they see it, they think of, oh, my Lord and Savior died for me. All right. He didn't tell you to do that. Okay. However, if that's what I just want to have something to remind me of this and that, he have something in there for you, right? And this is what I'm saying. No matter what God do, we want to do something else. All right. He didn't tell you to put the sun up there and do all that kind of stuff. All right. But this was something that you go and focus because he wants you to focus on what? The commandments. A lot of times they got that fake guy on there and that cross, whatever. And a lot of times they just think about he died so I could do whatever. No. You need to know about the what? Do these commandments. That's what you need to be reminded of. All right. He died. Yahushua died. So what? You can go and do these things. All right. But a lot of them use them as a symbol to be lawless. No. Okay. So verse 40. Well, finish it up, brother. How you finish it up?
That you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am Yahweh your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Yahweh your God.
All right. So you can remember, right? Remember to do all my commandments and what? Be holy unto your God. This is what that was supposed to remind you to be. All right. Listen to this part. I'm the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, not just to bring you to another land, but what? To be your God. So Israel, he took you out of captivity of Egypt to be your God. Okay, stop. It seems like Israel want to be in everybody, want to deal with everybody else's God but their own. All right, he brought you out of that captivity so you can what? You can understand your God and understand that he is your God. All right, and that's a good segue because tomorrow we're going to be dealing with the Ten Commandments. All right, so that's a good way to end this. All right, anybody have anything? No. All right. Well, under there, it was a pretty long chapter. All right. But nonetheless, it was needful and good. We're back tomorrow, 1:30, for the lesson. All right, done with the commandments. Those that are online, we're going to say Ayana Habatham. Those on YouTube, I'm sorry. We say Ayana Habatham, which means we love you all. And Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. All right. Different versions to say peace. All right. So peace, family.